Welcome back to the deep dive. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, isn't it? Achieving goals, ticking off tasks. But what about the bigger picture? How do we turn those successes into something, well, significant, something that lasts? That's what we're exploring today, building a legacy. And we've got the perfect source material for this. The final chunk, Habits 67 through 100, from Nigel Cumberland's brilliant book, 100 Things Successful People Do. Specifically, the part he calls building a legacy.
Exactly. Our mission today is to really unpack that. How do you go beyond just, doing well? We want to get into the mindset shifts, the actual strategies that help you build something truly impactful. We'll pull out the wisdom you can actually use.
Right. This feels like where things get really transformative. It's not just finishing, it's finishing strong, leaving that mark. So if we're talking legacy, where does Cumberland say we should start?
Well, interestingly, he points straight inward. It all starts with your inner world, your mindset, that personal foundation. Take Habit 67. Take responsibility for mistakes. He argues that blame, well, it just slows you down. Accountability actually speeds up growth.
That's a huge distinction, isn't it? Accountability as fuel, not punishment. I know I can sometimes find it hard to really, truly own up. What's the shift needed there?
It's really about internalizing the feedback. When you own it, properly own it, you're basically telling yourself, okay, lesson learned, how do I improve? It flips the script from being a victim to being in control. You learn faster, which ties directly into Habit 68, focus on what you can control.
Yes. Wasted energy.
Exactly. Wasting energy on things outside your control just leads to stress. But focusing on what you can influence, that's where the power is.
I love that focus. And the book mentions a specific technique, the circle exercise. Why is that so effective, do you think?
It's powerful because it's visual. You literally draw a circle, write the worry down. Inside the circle goes everything you can control about it. Outside, everything you can't. It forces you to categorize and then consciously let go of what's outside. It frees up so much mental space.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, freeing up that energy. So once you're owning things and focusing your energy, what's next? It seems like learning and resilience come into play.
Absolutely. Which brings us to Habit 70. Be a lifelong learner. And crucially, this isn't just about books or courses, it's learning from life itself. Cumberland suggests asking yourself, what did life teach me today? Successful people are constantly extracting lessons, from everything.
That constant curiosity.
Spot on. And that feeds directly into Habit 88, build mental toughness. The book stresses that grit, that perseverance often matters more than just raw intelligence.
Right. It's not about being the smartest person in the room, necessarily.
Yeah.
So how do you build that toughness?
It's about consistently stepping just outside your comfort zone. Little pushes, doing one thing that feels a bit difficult or new. Each small step builds that mental muscle. And this resilience helps massively with Habit 85, control emotional triggers.
The triggers. That pause before reacting.
Exactly. The advice is simple but hard. Pause. Ask yourself, what's really bothering me here?
That question, what's really bothering me? It sounds so simple, but I can see how powerful it is. Why does that little pause work so well?
Because it creates space. It interrupts that automatic, often unhelpful emotional reaction. It kicks your rational brain into gear. That tiny gap lets you choose a response instead of just reacting. And this self-awareness, this control, then enables Habit 71, be open to change.
Right, the ability to pivot.
Being able to adapt quickly. Cumberland poses a challenging question. If I had to start from scratch today, what would I do differently?
Oof, that's a tough one. Really makes you think. But being open to change, for what? What does success actually look like when you're building a legacy?
Well, that leads perfectly to Habit 77. Define their own success. The book really pushes back against the idea that success is just one thing, fame, millions. It highlights the conflict when your personal definition doesn't match society's. The trick is grounding yourself in your values. He suggests actually writing down your own two-sentence definition.
Defining it for yourself. I like that.
And then rounding out this inner work section, Habit 98. Stay humble, yet hungry.
That feels like a real balancing act.
Yeah.
How do you stay humble about achievements, but still driven for more without, becoming complacent or overly critical?
It's seeing achievements as milestones, not finish lines. Humility is acknowledging the journey, the help, the lessons. Hunger is that drive for what's next, that curiosity. It's asking, what can I still get better at? Not from a place of lack, but from a place of growth.
Humility and hunger. Got it. Okay, so we've built this strong inner foundation. Now, how does this ripple outwards? The next set of habits seems to focus on relationships, integrity, contribution.
Exactly. This is where personal success starts impacting others. Habit 72, live with integrity, is absolutely key. Simply put, your words match your actions. That's how you build trust. The cost of not doing that, well, it erodes everything over time. A good test. Keep one promise today, even a small one, especially if it's inconvenient.
Integrity is the bedrock. And then listening.
Habit 73. Be a good listener. And this is crucial. Listening to understand, not just waiting for your gap to reply.
That's definitely a skill that needs practice in our noisy world. What's the deeper benefit of really listening like that?
You catch the nuances, the things left unsaid, you understand the real message, it makes people feel genuinely heard, which is massive for relationships. Deeper connections need deeper understanding, which flows right into habit 81. Avoid gossip.
Gossip. We all know we shouldn't.
Right. The book frames it brilliantly. Talk about ideas, not people. It's just far more productive and positive.
Okay, but how do you steer clear? If you're in a conversation that turns gossipy, how do you redirect it smoothly?
Good question. It's often about shifting the focus. Try asking something like, that's interesting. What's the underlying issue there? Or how could that situation be improved? Turn it towards problem solving or ideas. This attitude also supports habit 89. Give credit freely. Lift others up. It actually makes you feel more abundant, too. Shout out a colleague today.
Giving credit.
Yeah.
It builds goodwill all around.
Definitely. And then habit 91, be a good role model. The core idea is someone is always watching.
That's a powerful thought. But does that create pressure? Does it link back to avoiding perfectionism? How do you balance being a role model without feeling like you have to be flawless, especially if you're, say, in the public eye?
Great point. It absolutely connects. The key isn't being perfect. Nobody is. It's about consistency in your values, especially when things are tough. Cumberland's suggestion is practical. Make decisions as if your younger self is watching. It focuses you on integrity and authenticity, not some impossible standard of perfection. And this naturally leads into being generous and learning broadly. Habit 74. Pay it forward. Help others succeed without expecting anything back. Maybe offer some help or mentorship today. Also, habit 80. Learn from everyone. Don't just stick to your bubble. Ask someone in a totally different field for their best advice. You'll be surprised what you learn.
Paying it forward, learning from everyone, it sounds great. But then there's habit 69, think abundantly.
Yeah.
I can see how complimenting someone doing well might feel tough if you're feeling a bit insecure yourself. What's the hurdle there?
Yeah, that's often the biggest hurdle, that scarcity mindset, the feeling that someone else's win is somehow your loss. Thinking abundantly means truly believing there's enough success to go around. The source challenges you. Compliment someone doing well, especially if it feels a bit difficult. It's like exercise for rewiring that competitive instinct into celebrating possibility.
Rewiring from their win is my loss to their win shows what's possible. I like that perspective. Okay, so we've covered inner work, relating to others. Now let's get into the doing. The engine room, maybe, strategic action, getting things done, and importantly, keeping yourself going.
Exactly. This is about execution. Habit 75, avoid excuses. Cumberland calls excuses exit signs from growth. They're often just fear dressed up as reasons: no time, no money, too hard. The trick, swap "I can't because" with "how can I?" Instantly shifts your brain into problem-solving mode.
From problem to possibility. Love it.
And then, counterintuitively perhaps, habit 78, know when to quit.
That one always gets me. We hear never give up so much. When is quitting the right move?
It's not about quitting the overall dream, it's about quitting the wrong path towards it. A dead-end project, a toxic situation. Quitting something that isn't working frees up energy for what will work. Ask yourself, what one thing do I need to stop doing? That takes courage. And that courage helps tackle habit 92, avoid procrastination. The book nails it. Procrastination is often fear in disguise.
Oh, definitely feels that way sometimes, like a big wall.
Yeah.
How do you push past that fear-based procrastination?
The book suggests a brilliantly simple hack. Break the task down to just one tiny 5-minute action. And just do that. 5 minutes feels doable, right? It lowers the barrier, breaks the inertia. Often, once you start, you just keep going. And this relates to habit 93, know their priorities, making sure you're working on the important stuff, not just the urgent stuff that screams the loudest.
Distinguishing urgent from important, that's key. And it sounds like it's not just about frantic action, but also patience and focusing on progress, not perfection.
Precisely. Habit 79, practice patience. Legacy building is a long game. In our instant gratification world, patience is a superpower. Try delaying one small gratification today, just to build that muscle. Then, habit 87, develop a strong work ethic. Talent's great, but effort counts hugely. Put in the focused hours, maybe even track them and set a personal best. And Crucially, habit 95, don't chase perfection. Embrace good enough sometimes.
That 80% ready rule.
Yeah.
It's liberating, but also challenging. I remember agonizing over a presentation once, trying to get it perfect and completely missing the point because I ran out of time.
Exactly. Shipping it at 80% and getting feedback is often way better than waiting for a perfect 100% that never arrives. Action beats inaction. Challenge yourself. Share something that's just good enough.
Okay, action, patience, progress. Now, the final cluster seems to be about sustainability. Personal maintenance, your environment, keeping the engine running smoothly.
Couldn't have put it better. Habit 76, stay physically and mentally fit. Body and brain both need regular workouts. It's non-negotiable for the long haul. Maybe 20 minutes of movement daily, and maybe less screen time before bed. Then, habit 82, learn to rest, not quit. Being tired isn't failing, it's a signal to recharge. Take a proper break, maybe even just 5 minutes of mindful breathing, no phone. And this includes active investment, like habit 84, invest in personal growth. See learning as essential, like paying a bill. Buy that book, take that course, habit 97. Build empowering morning rituals. How you start your day sets the trajectory. Maybe some silence, some movement, setting an intention. It really calibrates your mindset.
Those morning rituals can make such a huge difference, and I guess part of setting the tone is also managing your surroundings.
Absolutely. Which is habit 99, avoid toxic environments. This isn't just about obviously bad situations, it's about noticing what subtly drains your energy. Be intentional about who and what you surround yourself with. Maybe distance yourself slightly from just one draining influence. This helps protect your energy so you can live habit 94, stay true to their values.
Ah, values. Not trading your ethics for a quick win, even when it's tempting.
Exactly. Cumberland suggests writing down your top 3 values, then regularly ask, are my actions lining up? Compromising values for short-term gains. The long-term cost is usually way too high. This integrity feeds habit 83, stay adaptable, be flexible, ask, what routine could I tweak for better results? And habit 90, manage their energy, not just time.
That's a really interesting one. We hear so much about time management, but energy management.
Hmm.
What's the core idea there?
It's about working with your natural rhythms, not against them. Identify when you have the most mental energy, your peak times, and schedule your toughest, most important work then. You get more done, better quality, often with less trouble. It's smarter work, not just harder work. And then just a couple more. Habit 96, keep a growth journal. Briefly note down lessons, wins. It reinforces the learning, maybe top 3 learnings before bed. And wrapping it all up, habit 100. Reflect often and adjust quickly. This is the meta habit. Regularly ask, what's working, what's not? And then crucially, make small adjustments. A weekly review, change one thing. That's how you sustain momentum.
Wow, all the way to habit 100. That was quite a journey through those final top 4 habits from Nigel Cumberland's book. We've covered the whole list now, really digging into building that legacy.
Yeah, and if listeners take away just one thing, I hope it's this. Knowing the habits isn't the point, it's doing them. Application is everything.
Absolutely. So here's the challenge for you listening. Pick 3. Just 3 new habits from this final group that really struck a chord with you. And try them out. Apply them every day this week.
And remember that great line from the source. Small hinges swing big doors. Those consistent small actions, they really do add up to big changes over time.
Couldn't agree more. And let's end with that powerful quote from Cumberland himself. You don't become successful. You become the kind of person who succeeds habit by habit. So think about it. Which habit resonated most with you today? What kind of person are you becoming habit by habit? We're excited to see the legacy you build.